All right, so hi, my name is Keltie Hamilton. I'm an instructor in public health in the health sciences faculty. I'm an epidemiologist and a practical nurse by training. And so a lot of the approaches that I use to AI in my classroom leverages my teaching philosophy, which is rooted in social justice. Some of you might be thinking, how is AI policy and anything to do with student writing related to social justice? I'm going to share some of the things that I've learned while trying to develop a policy for my classes, and then some of the tips that I share with students as well when they're submitting written work in my class. I want to be clear, I'm not an AI expert. We have those at the university. That is not me, but with how AI is changing the way we think about education, it's something every faculty member has had to think about over the past few years. AI can mean a variety of things, but in university, we mainly focus on the use of large language models, or LLMs, for the completion of assignments that are submitted for grading. These models are predictive in nature and trained by humans. Predictive means that it does not search up-to-date information, but it runs an algorithm to decide what the most likely response is to the prompt that you've given it. This can lead to falsified references, which is a common way to identify submissions that were completed with AI. Trained by humans means there's labor exploitation involved in the training of these models, and human bias can be present in the responses that you receive. My largest personal concern with AI use is related to environmental health, which is kind of under the umbrella of public health that I teach. And so AI uses an alarming amount of water to cool its data centers and electricity to make them run. Alberta is currently negotiating land use for these AI data centers. And if these centers are built, we will have prioritized computers to get access to clean water in rural areas before First Nation, Indigenous, and Métis communities do. I think that statement should really give us pause and allow all of us to think about being critical consumers of AI. So now that I've kind of explained my rationale and my approach, I want to talk about some unique things in our program that might make it more prone to AI use in writing assignments. So our program has a large number of international students, and I really want them to get the full benefit of taking classes at the University of Lethbridge and strengthening their writing and sharing their unique voice. We are very lucky to have small class sizes here, really dedicated faculty, and an amazing writing center. My AI policy is quite strict because I want students in my classes to improve their writing. Many students feel that their writing might not be good enough to submit, or it might have errors that would result in low marks. And a large goal of my course and the writing components within it is to help them improve their writing, use APA citations effectively, and learn how to connect all of the information that we learn in class to their relevant field of study. As an adult undergraduate student, I also really resonate with the steep learning curve that accompanies university writing expectations. This is something that is not talked about a lot, but university writing is really challenging. Using AI doesn't necessarily allow us to improve writing and knowledge synthesis the same way doing it yourself does. So it doesn't address any underlying concerns that students have, and it's usually a Band-Aid that cannot be used in most public health or healthcare workspaces to replace your own thought and critical thinking and writing. I'm really honest with students in our faculty that AHS, or Alberta Health Services, and FAC, which is the Public Health Agency of Canada, don't allow AI on their servers yet. It's still a new technology, and it's not something that's permitted. And in our faculty, we teach a variety of disciplines that are required to really be interdisciplinary in what they learn, to be able to read, digest, and respond to information using their existing knowledge, such as a nursing student or an addictions counseling student working with members of the community. So I share all of these concerns and these thoughts with my classes. I go over my AI policy, which is not to use AI for submitted work. In the past, in order to give students an understanding of the water use and electricity use, I've had them complete voluntary, very voluntary, anonymous surveys, and then I calculate the class's water and electricity use over the year based on how much they use AI on a monthly basis. This gets a really good class discussion going on how to use it more sparingly than they might be currently, and how to be a critical consumer of this type of technology. I also acknowledge AI is needed sometimes, and it is advancing a lot of things quite rapidly. The biggest example I use with my students is a job search. Many companies are using AI screening tools based on word matching algorithms that are based on the job posting itself. If you're not using technologies to your advantage, you might not get through the screening process for jobs. My biggest tip from all of this, which I was kind of asked to present, is students and faculty need to be aware that this is evolving. AI is changing, and one thing I really like to use is Google Docs or Google Documents as a way to show authorship in my classes, if that is something you're concerned with as an instructor or faculty member. I always tell students in this day and age, especially with the AI policy the university has, they really have to protect themselves because it's really hard to prove or disprove AI use. We don't have great detectors yet, and so they can be really inaccurate if they're used to look at a student's work. So it's really helpful if you use Google Doc, and then you can have that document ready to share if AI use on their assignment is questioned. It makes it really easy for me as the marker or the instructor to look at the editing history and know that they wrote the work they submitted. It's very obvious they worked on it for a couple hours, hopefully a couple days, before they turn it in. It's also really great for group work documentation because it shows the contributions each individual has made to a group project. So if you're a faculty that uses a lot of group work, I really like using Google Docs for this reason as well. I took all of the things that I just discussed into consideration when I created a really strong AI policy in my syllabus. It speaks to my personal, my environmental, and my educational concerns with AI use. And I'm really transparent with students about this policy on the first day of class and explain my rationale for why I don't allow AI in my classes. Not all students agree with me and not all faculty members agree with me, and that's totally fine, but at least they understand where I'm coming from, which allows them to, or they've shared, it makes it easier to abide by that policy in my classes.